We return here for kickoffs as it was a very, very dominant win by Enterprise in the first series, hence why we're ahead of schedule by almost about 2 hours. It was 7-0, 7-2 in the end. And we move on. Team ANIOS versus Chiefs. A new look Chiefs roster as well, Guz, from last year.
Yeah, some of the remnants of Enterprise themselves actually on this particular team, and it can somewhat be framed as a circular sphere as what, V3, V4, and V5. I'm not quite sure what version we're up to now with 4 of the players previously on that particular banner. I think if there's any team that can potentially look competitive against Enterprise, it probably is these guys, especially with some of the info that Relays and Player would be able to inject into the team. So looking to see them be competitive today, and if anything, probably trying to replicate the kind of dominance from EP to maybe give an indication that they could potentially be in the same run.
And Player and Relays coming over from the ex-Enterprise roster from last year, as you said, a lot of experience from those two, international experience as well. Lunchbox continuing to see if he can continue to climb from what was, the last year or so, a bit of a rookie season now into, can he continue to grow? Neptune's a quality player, and Jake Kenner is very much a veteran of this region now. For Team ANIOS, it is a roster that finally gets their go in Pro League OCE as this Core 5. We've actually, in the Core 4 of a Razor, Proxy, Wizard, and Shaz tried to qualify last year, and of course didn't qualify, but then remnants of that roster kind of split off and joined other teams that did qualify. They added in Chef Jeff to that Core 4, this time actually qualifying through Challenger Series, and now they get to play together as the Core 5 for this season of Pro League. Chef Jeff just seemingly always has a place in Pro League OCE.
Yeah, again, another short-lived retirement, a little bit like Wedables, of course, from the previous series. These guys have impressed so far from the short time we've seen them. As we're alluding to, efforts like the SILCQ run are not to be discounted. And yeah, excited to see if maybe they can pull off what would probably be an upset in this particular matchup.
Yeah, we'll go to the vetoes and see where we will be playing for this particular matchup. Not too far away from getting into the game. No club, no Nighthaven, no cafe, no border. It's Chalet once again. Consulate to mix things up, and if required, the third map is Bank.
Yeah, again, pretty fluid map, Chalet, to open things up. I anticipate that's probably going to be a map that will favor the nature of Chiefs slightly, and thus their particular selection. Then we go to a bit more structure, Consulate, ANIOS. I think that will be a little bit more set play heavy if I were to take a stab in the dark, and so we could see them find a little bit more comfort there as well. But it's all about tone setting for me. I think Chiefs need to go into this matchup with the mindset and the potential to try and dominate their opposition as early as possible.
Well, let's get the series underway. Our second matchup today for OCE Kickoffs. Team ANIOS challenging the new look Chiefs roster and seeing whether or not they can get a win on the board for what will be their first appearance as this Core 5 in Pro League. Again, for a lot of the players on Team ANIOS, they have got that Pro League experience, as pretty much all of the teams that we've got for kickoff have. They'll begin on defense, Chiefs on the attack. What are you looking forward to seeing in this matchup, Guz? I guess more so on an individual level, because the teams, again, it's the first time we get to see these rosters. There's not a lot to go on. It's not like we're in stage 2 or the back end of the year where we have a bit more information as to what to expect. But on an individual note, who are you looking to?
I think in terms of highlighting individuals, when you look across at Chiefs first, for instance, the player that probably jumps to mind first is Player himself. Obviously dating back to when he entered the scene at a tier 1 level, he made quite the wave, was very impressive individually, was able to find his feet eventually on EP with that inclusion. And despite no longer being on that team, I don't think that really discounts the efforts that he was able to have, particularly domestically. And so I'll be looking at him to be impactful for Chiefs and be a bit of a leader for them in the frag department, probably alongside the likes of Neptune, who can then also take Lunchbox under their wing. And then, of course, looking across at ANIOS as well. Being impressed from some of the stuff we've seen from Wizard over the course of his career so far, and hoping that he can build upon that. And of course, it'd be difficult to look past Chef Jeff, who's essentially labelled a veteran at this point in time. He's had a lot of experience. He's even made some of the biggest games at OCE over the course of his career as well. And while he hasn't necessarily been able to take that big next step, towards international success, there's nothing saying that that might not be on the agenda throughout this year as well.
I mean, this is the kind of stage where if you're relays, if you're player, it's almost like you want to kind of make a statement because, you know, the Enterprise shake-up, it's sort of like you've been inexplicitly told you're not in that top 5 in the region. Otherwise, you'd be on that team. You know, you'd be in one of those positions. You'd be selected over, you know, a Brendo or a Bappin or something like that. Clearly not the case. For good reason right now. They're going to have to, you know, work really hard this stage if they want to. And that's in some ways kind of like what OCE as a region is like, because we get such little opportunities to make international events. It's not like you got, you know, 3 teams that get to go over the major. There's only 1 slot. And so more often than not over the last 5 years in this region, it's like if you're not on the number 1 team, you're not really making international events. And so you want to perform to then be selected to be on that number 1 team. And that's going to be probably the goal for these guys, at least this stage, is to sort of, can we be too good to ignore that if there is a roster shakeup later on, back end of the year, next year, whenever, that you're then in that best position to be picked up. Chaz going to go down to Neptune. There's been a solid fragger in the region. Opening kill for the Chiefs on the attack. You'd see the bands, Ace Grim, Azami, along with the Thorn. Oh, Lunchbox, that's not the way to start the stage. Team kill onto the Blackbeard Jake Kenner. It happens a lot. If you're playing that shield op, it happens way more often than if you're not playing the shield op.
Still, the Chiefs able to progress forward, and Box now looking to back that up with the plant. Good coverage from Neptune, but the flank from Chef Jeff clean. Advantage now, ANIOS. Diffuser on the deck, and player left in a 1v3 to try and collect the scraps. Has info on Proxy down below, but gets flanked from behind. Strong start.
Chef Jeffy.
Yeah, he's back. He's making a splash.
I think one of the strengths of Chef Jeff is just, it's almost like I know I'm not a Jigsaw, you know, I'm not a Bappin, I'm not one of those guys, that's fine. I'm probably never going to be a top 3, top 5 player in the region, but I'm experienced, I know what I could do, and I can just have some fun. And I don't think he takes it as seriously either, because genuinely, I think for Chef Jeff, that's a big strength of his, and he can then just have the freedom to do what he feels comfortable doing. And this is a wonderful play, because he just backfills in past Wizard. So Wizard makes that first kill, gets it, Box. Okay, immediately traded. Chef Jeff's like, then I'm going to go again. And then he picks up 3 kills. Wonderful positioning from Chef Jeff. Didn't overthink it, just immediately went into action. And they get the opening round. Not an awful start for Chiefs, but it doesn't help that Lunchbox got the team kill after Neptune did find the opening kill of the round. But active defense, though, from Team ANIOS, being prepared to flank, re-aggress, not just kind of fall back, give up space. Good start to the round. Good start to the series.
The double deployable shield set up here, top 4 extension ANIOS, but the Chiefs line up with the Glaz, the Blitz, the Capital. So a bulk of smoke utility potential, and then of course the Lion scan from the player. It suggests that a direct hit could be in order here, but it doesn't always equate to a rush, and that's not what we'll see in this particular round. Instead, they'll contemplate other points of the map, maybe try to perceive a bit of pressure over towards top 4, then pivot late down below to try and bait ANIOS into the extension and to not peel back towards site. Proxy as well will be key in the round on the Warden as well. He wants to be in towards the site. His utility is key in countering this particular hit.
Relay's not going to be given anything here on the Glaz, but if his Jake Henner can slip in towards default, go over the plant, and raise it down by Box. And Box then finds a second one, makes up for the previous round, makes amends. And Box then finds the third one. They all just keep running straight into him. You probably sit back and say, well, I didn't really do that much. I kind of just held the angle and they just ran into the line of sight. And it leaves now Wizard and Chef Jeff in a pretty unwinnable position. Box has got the quad. He's got the ace. Well, from team kill to ace for Lunchbox. That's one way to make amends for the previous round. Gets all 5 kills.
Good work from Box. The Repel library is, of course, naturally a very strong position as the defense tries to contest it to get vertical control, but unfortunately it's so difficult, and we see often such little success as displayed in that round. It was a good little bait and switch there. Chiefs playing it out pretty much exactly as I envisioned. The Warden was too far away from sight. They retained positions up above because of the perceived pressure, and that allowed the attack to slip into sight and plant in smoke coverage.
I just have a feeling this might be a close series. I genuinely don't think there's going to be too much separating these two teams. You kind of maybe give the edge over to Chiefs because of players like Player and Relays and their strength, and Lunchbox continuing to improve as a player, Jaketta's experience. Any team with Chef Jeff, you just cannot underplay what he can bring to a roster. Razor also had a very good stage last year as well. Wizard, good signs last year, but on a struggling team. It's difficult to get a read on these teams with the roster changes, the shuffles coming into the year. The first stage is always the most difficult stage to really grasp how a team is going to perform. And could a team like Chiefs actually challenge Enterprise in the future?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, one thing as well to quickly note in terms of this half and the bans in which they've shaped up, Snake is available for the attack, in contrast to the earlier game of Chalet we saw. And there's such great lurk potential on a map like Chalet. I know it's only 2 rounds in, but kind of surprised in neither. We haven't seen it deployed from Chiefs, but I wouldn't count it out from being an option. Snake's ability to solo clear, gain information, and find strong positions, and slip into the map unsighted is really, really strong. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see it at some point.
Let's just see Chef Jeff on the Thunderbird, by the way. He played it in Challenger Series.
Might be the only player in the world to play Thunderbird.
Yeah, he genuinely is. He did find a kill onto Lunchbox. That was after Neptune was the opening death. Player is on the board. First kill for, I guess, his new team. Relays the smoke in front. Chef Jeff will fall. Player finds a second, all tied up. 3v3, still over a minute left. Jakena bottom trophy with player inside trophy onto the shock drone. Here comes Proxapan though. And he could actually get a really good timing here as Jakena was on drone, still is on drone. Proxy doesn't have that in mind. He's not aware of it.
Uh-oh.
This is just a classic case. I mean, even if Jake Kenner gets off this, goes up towards Sol, he's probably not aware of Proxy's position. Jake Kenner got off, pushed down below. Nothing ends up happening. But now Jake Kenner's aware of Proxy's position. He goes down to a Razor anyway. Advantage for Team ANIOS once again. Timing for Relays. He gets a little bit short on the timing, but Proxy runs into player anyway. 2v2, 30 seconds left. Oh, great nitro from a Razor. Good teamwork with Shaz. And player needs to get the ace.
15 seconds. They can't afford to present the opportunity, and they don't. Good cross. The defense. Got a little hairy on a couple of occasions there, but they make...
So we head into the additional bans at a 2-1 lead for Team ANIOS. It's been back and forth to begin. And so far, though, I'd say more good signs from Team ANIOS. It was really the ace from Lunchbox, the only notable sign right now from Chiefs as we get the Blitz and Malusi Bam. Bedroom Office, our next site.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers. Where should I put
Well, it continues to shape up to be a competitive duel between these two, at least for the first rotation of sites, and we'll see if that continues as we enter the fourth round. Again, being pretty impressed from what we're seeing from the likes of Chef Jeff, off to a strong start box as well. On the flip side for Chiefs, his big moment previously on the bar hit. So looking at some other big names to come alive here inside of the server. Relays and Jay Kenner especially will have the expectation to do well throughout this kickoff bracket. Again, no Snake to be employed. The Blitz and the Malus are the additional bans for the remainder of the half.
Yeah, again, I think Snake's going to be the kind of operator that you'll use more on maps where positioning is more questionable. Are there more roam plays, players set up in off-angle positions where you got to scout out, get info? He's an info gatherer, really, at the end of the day. If you're going to have a decent idea as to where most players are going to be set up, then he loses kind of a bit of appeal. Box straight into bathroom, by the way. Aggressive. Straight through the tripwire connector. Player with the opening kill. Chef Jeff will fall to Relays. He's over towards Office. Jay Kenner falls to Shaz. Numbers still with Chiefs throughout this rather heavy execution start to the round. Only 2 players up for ANIOS. Box still alive on that black bid towards Piano. Getting challenged by Eraser, who's already used that Nitrocell. And leaves Proxy over towards Trophy. So they're split for the duo.
Yeah, high intensity round from the Chiefs so far. Like Proxy's lurk down below over towards Kitchen, and Eraser getting active over towards Master. 2v2 now and very winnable for the defense.
This is the guard break. Neptune in Solar as well. They're going to win this 2v1, and they do. Leaves Proxy now in a 1v2 scenario as Box is going to get the plant down inside a bedroom. Proxy, can he find a way to get Neptune now? That was his time. That was his chance. Now in the 1v2 post plant with a Blackbeard shield up, Neptune finds the kill. Really well positioned to watch that entry from Solar, and Chiefs are able to get another one back. 2-2 scoreline. It's back and forth so far on Chalet.
Yeah, not the cleanest brute force attack you'll ever see from Chiefs. It got a little bit hairy. The entry over towards Bathroom, the Ram utility was catching Box, and the push over towards Solar initially wasn't particularly successful with Jay Kenner falling and the diffuser on the ground, but they were able to reset, and even in the 2 versus 2, still able to leverage that Blackbeard late round. A good example of where having the Blackbeard alive so late, if you can then have a second player aggressing off that information and that pressure, it's very difficult. It's a real handful for the defense, who at that point was split and scattered to find those picks, or of course with being so split, impossible to trade. So another good round so far. The quality of the siege, it must be said, between these two is quite a high level. And I anticipate this could well be a very, very even conclusion to the half.
Yeah, not a lot of separation so far. First one to break away will probably take the map. Just the 1 kill so far for Relays, 4 for player. Emphasis really to be probably the top fragger on this roster when it comes to Relays on the glass again in this round. 2 rounds to go in the half. We head to basement for the first time. Exothermic to open up. Couple of smokes as well. Relays will play in behind. Nitrocell thrown from Wizard. It will connect. So Cannon goes down. 0-4 start for Jake. Neptune takes his place. Player got the kill onto Shaz. Good protection on Neptune. Really solid protection from Chiefs. Played that nicely. Proxy by himself. You're not winning this one. Not in a 1v3. With a quick plant over towards Snow. This one should be done. And indeed it will be. Relays collecting that kill. Played the glass nicely at the hard breach. Good rush executed by Chiefs. They take the lead. They win 2 straight for the first time here on Chalet.
Another confident attack there from Chiefs. Maybe giving us an insight as to kind of what their approach may be for this kickoff bracket, just to send it as frequently as possible and play with as much confidence as possible. It's probably the best way to describe it, and not second-guessing plays and overcomplicating, which can sometimes be a vice for teams in this particular region. So look back at that replay package. Early plant attempt again was faulted. Jay Kenner died early, very similar to the last round out, but then they stacked into action. They quickly went for the reattempted plant, and with Glaz covering, it was again overwhelming for ANIOS to try and deal with.
Final round of the half. Jeff once again back onto the Thunderbird. I've always kind of felt like Thunderbird is a strange operator because in theory it seems sound with the Kona stations. You know, you can go and take a fight, get down to half health, go back, get back up to full health. It just doesn't click. Players just don't like it. Doesn't work. It's not good enough. Doesn't do enough. And also most of the time when you get into a fight, it's kind of a you either die from it or you win it pretty comfortably anyway, more often than not. And the value is just not really there. I believe at Six Invitational it didn't get selected once. Ooh. Yeah, Razor, as soon as he unpeaked, you had to know he's going to re-peak you and go for the one tap. Really clean kill from Relays to find the entry, get library stairs control. Good start to the round for Chiefs.
Certainly so. ANIOS have looked eager to try and fight back and counterplay it in this half. Is anybody on the side of the defense to now re-aggress, try and take a bit of space forward? And we see that from like the Jeff, but he gets timed, he looks the wrong way. And at the perfect moment, Relays swings, and it's a 5-3 advantage to Chiefs.
Well, that's a free kill for Proxy. Yeah, Box just caught. Going for an easy run. Have to be more careful when that breach is opened up. Let's bring one back now for ANIOS. 90 seconds left in the round. Proxy has started well here. Still a Nitrocell too for Shaz. Death marker was temporarily activated by Relays. Now up to 5 and 3. 11 kills combined for the two ex-Enterprise players, which are kind of happy to just play the Monty role. And Wizard able to get rid of Neptune. Back to a 3v3. 2 kills straight for ANIOS. Jade Kenner has the information to Shaz towards Piano. Needs to get a helping hand. Player still towards Ego. Vaults in. Should know that Proxy's playing at the half wall. That was a soft swing from Player. Gets punished. Proxy's found another. ANIOS looking to tie things up at the half. At least Relays in the 1v3 almost found the kill onto Proxy from basement.
"30 seconds on the clock, a belt of traps to deal with. Relays going for the clutch, pushes forward, dead. Massive round from Proxy and a massive way to cap off the half for ANIOS. It's 3-3 as we enter the short break.
I'm a drop in the ocean, just a face in a crowd waiting to be seen. Big dreams set in motion. I wanna go where no one's ever been. I would climb the highest mountain. I would dive the deepest sea, just so I could make you feel what I feel. Aiming for the sky. Yeah, I really thought we'd make it. Got my head in the clouds, but I can see the world from up here, from up here, from up
So all tied at the half, and not a lot separating these two teams. Both have looked pretty good in patches. The fact that Chiefs actually got the plant down 3 times in that half, guys.
Yeah.
And won all of those rounds. They won every single round that they won was because they got because they got plant down in the rounds that they did, and lost all the ones that they didn't get the plant down. Pretty early action in a lot of the rounds too. 4 of the 6 rounds opening kills around that sort of 2 to 2.5 minute mark. That was a lovely tap from Relays, but they just couldn't go on with the round. And yeah, I mean, honestly, right now, I'm not too surprised by this scoreline or this result. You could easily make the case that on paper, this Chiefs roster should be the favorites, but I do rate this ANIOS lineup, and again, always have that respect for Chef Jeff and what he's able to bring to teams, and you know, clearly that we're able to, you know, qualify because of him and his addition, because it was this call 4 plus, apologies, can't remember the other 5th, but last year they couldn't qualify it. This year they add in Chef Jeff, bam, qualification. It's a Chef Jeff factor. He's 4-5 to start. Proxy's doing well. Eraser continues his form from last year.
10 seconds left.
And clearly, Chiefs know they're going to have their work cut out for them in this series. There's probably more pressure on this Chiefs roster, you know, the makeup of it, and I think what their expectations, goals would be this stage to be fighting alongside, you know, the likes of Enterprise, Barbie Boys, etc., being at sort of at the top end. They don't want to be losing to Team ANIOS to kickstart and go into that lower bracket.
So into the second half we go, and it's double shield ban from Chiefs, so taking away both the Monty and the Blackbeard will leave just the primary Blitz in play and available. And also on the flip side, taking down Mirror and Azami. Very, very standard bans here on a map like Chalet. Establishing those power positions with those 2 operators is typically key. Relays elsewhere while he runs out down below. We catch the back end of it. May well push to 4 rivals already for ANIOS.
Yeah, I mean, Relays, this is his strength. It's his bread and butter. Just the ability to go find a couple of kills quick succession. They did have a couple of kills to start the previous round, courtesy of Relays, and then they couldn't follow it on. They lose Lunchbox now, so 4v3. ANIOS have shown really good resilience going down in these 3v5 scenarios and still being able to win the round. Good quality of theirs, and that's a good chance. Relays finding the kill onto Shaz. Doubles down the advantage once again. 4v2. Good start on the defense for Chiefs. And Proxy's waiting and hoping someone will literally run into him. And Chef Jeff somewhat now doing the same. That's probably the best course of action now with the time still available in the round. I just hope that Chiefs make a little bit of a mess here.
Yeah, if Chiefs go searching, that might be the win con.
Oh, well, I mean, that's just not going to work out for Chef Jeff on the vault straight into Jay Kenner, and player will get the final kill of the round. So out of the break for Chiefs. It's success on the defense. They retake the lead. Neither of these two teams have been able to gain a significant advantage in terms of round score. It's always really just kind of been the 1 round differential. Bar games for the next round. Pretty dominant. It also means 2 rounds in a row now. Relays has gotten the opening kill, so he's starting to come to form. He's got 2-0 entry, 8-4, and the highest rated player in the server.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Yeah, I'd be interested to sort of go into the mind of Relays and understand been sort of feeling heading into this stage. Of course, leaving EP and seeing how stacked that roster is now is probably not the greatest feeling, but of course still has potential on this team to build up a bit of a project and see how it works out. And clearly looking comfortable inside of the server so far this afternoon, which is great to see. Onto the Vault for this particular round. Gun against the map clear. Although it looks like some of that also spotted down in counterplay from Razor, who jumps onto the IQ and means that counterplay is available.
Jacana finally gets himself on the board as well with his first kill. Clearly playing far more of a supportive role in this roster. You've got your fraggers in Lunchbox, Player, and Relays. And this is Chiefs map pick. more emphasis on them to close this out. Consulate then to follow.
Clutch active.
I'm not gonna lie, that picture of Consulate, you can hardly actually make out what map that is. I just see like a tree in the middle and some smoke. And it is Consulate. Razor on the IQ, trying to get some information. Spot out some of these gadgets as the Retero from Proxy gets to work as well. Over towards the mezzanine, which is where Jay Kenner currently holds himself on the Aruni. Double shield ban as well from Chiefs, so no Monty, no Blackbeard available for ANIOS. They bring the clash as well. It's a significant power shift in favor of the defense to have that shield. No shield then coming your way. Electing not to bling the blitz this round for Team ANIOS. 90 seconds, slow-paced round. Still 5v5. Jay Kenner thinking about the peak. Retero just close to him, and it's put him in a tricky position. Aided a little bit by that smoke, actually, and was able to slip on over. Oh my goodness. Almost punched Shaz in the face. Razor gets the kill. And the opening pick the way of ANIOS. Flash forcing back Neptune on the clash. Back down library stairs. And ANIOS taking some good ground on the top floor.
Unfortunate there for Jay Kenner. The clash now isolated. Neptune wants to try and fortify this position for as long as possible. Maybe try to progress forward. But if that's monitored correctly by ANIOS, that really shouldn't be allowed. And with a minute on the clock, it's now up to Relays to flank. Can he make this count?
Opens up the space, and they're not aware of it. Shaz caught lacking. Should have heard the breach get opened up. Proxy wins his battle, though, towards Fireplace Stairs. Overwhelmed by Relays. At the top of Mezzanine as Box gets involved, too. He goes to 9 kills as Relays is on double digits, and Chef Jeff now finds himself by himself. Chiefs on the verge of getting a 2-round lead for the first time here on Chalet. Unless Jeffy and create a highlight reel moment. No, it will not be. The young gunner gets to double digits. Lunchbox finds himself on 10. And Chiefs go 5-3 up as we see the timeout call by Team ANIOS.
So the manual timeout called, of course, in addition to the 2-minute break afforded at the roll swap. And this is where Chef Jeff earns his proverbial paycheck, an opportunity to rally the troops and refocus them here. As it looks like Chiefs have their number in these particular roles, with ANIOS now on the attacking side. They're finding it very difficult to tame this mid to late round aggression from Chiefs. The flanks on offer are proving deadly. The on-site play and the anchorage has also been enough to facilitate that. So I wonder what kind of approach ANIOS now look to take heading into these next few rounds, what the additional ban layering may look like for them as well. There's options available. I like the fact that they've taken the time out now to afford them that space and not left it too late. Of course, last round got off to a really unlucky start there. Jay Kenner misses the melee for the side of Chiefs. And ANIOS, of course, the benefactors of that. Bit of stall out as they try and push in towards the side itself. It looked quite rough and a little bit cluttered and disorganized. So we'll see if they can tighten up.
Well, so far so good for Chiefs in terms of what they probably want from their players. Relays, Box, fragging out. Players 7 and 5. You don't really need Neptune and Jay Kenner to be the top gunners on this roster. A decent spread of performance from ANIOS. It's the first time, but on this map, there is a bit of separation in terms of the scoreboard. It was a 2-1 start for ANIOS, then 2 rounds straight for Chiefs. Saw them take a temporary lead. ANIOS then fought back to close the half out, 3-3, 2 rounds straight in a row again then to Chiefs. And it does now mean they've got the form line. 4 of the last 5 rounds have been in favor of Chiefs. Kitchen dining for the first time in the second half. Again, lack of shield play for ANIOS is not going to help going into this clash. Who's going to be the one, though, to be that entry fragger for this ANIOS roster? That's the question. You got Proxy that's got 1 opening kill, Wizard's got 1, and Razor's got 1. Who are going to be those hardline entry fraggers. So far, Proxy and Razor have been their best performing players and have been involved in the most of the entry battles. It's Player, though, that wins the battle against Proxy. He finds the opening kill. That's his second so far of the game for... Well, actually, it wasn't Player. He was already down. I think Lunchbox was actually the one who technically gets credited with the kill, as he got the down. Player then got the finish off. Another opportunity here for Lunchbox. Tags up a Razor, gets him low towards Trophy Stairs. Another good start to the round for Chiefs. And you just get the feeling, all right, they've really got control now here on Chalet.
Minute 30. There is set entry, but it's too little, too late. Surely Chiefs are able to control the round, but Neptune falls as well and gives an opportunity potentially here for ANIOS.
Yeah. Razor now actually going positive too. 8 and 6. Need the next kill quickly. Razor's still very low on health. Plays together with Wizard. They got no control above though. Site control, yes. But it does mean Jake Kenner and Lunchbox can continue to pepper from above. Box did find one from above. Razor got the kill onto at least one member back, but it means now from a 2v3 to a 1v2, it doesn't change up a whole lot. Razor still very low on health, and he knows that both Jake Kenner and Lunchbox playing from above. 40 seconds. Needs to try and find an angle, go for this plant, maybe bait one of them to drop down. There is that drop. Can't get the kill. Lunchbox hits the headshot. It's a wonderful drop kill from Lunchbox. He's on form now here on Chalet. Map point for Chiefs.
Unfortunately, the tactical timeout is not converted for Team ANIOS. In a very, very tricky position. Difficult to dig themselves out of this hole. Certainly not impossible with the second rotation now to follow and the lessons learned from the first, but Chiefs have just done a better job in commanding the map so far. As we look back at the replay package of that 9th round, unfortunately, they kind of pick it up at the rear end of the round where it was pretty much already done at that point in time with the Razor low. Wizard already off. Good work from Chiefs to being able to reclaim that control.
Attackers need to locate
Basement, the site of choice to try and cap this map off with a win.
13 and 5 now for Lunchbox. He started with the team kill onto Jay Kenner many rounds ago. Yeah, just one of those games for ANIOS where they were so competitive for so long. After 6 rounds played, 3-3 scoreline, and the Chiefs have just kind of gone whack very, very quickly. Have been able to gain a rather large ascendancy here on Chalet. None of these rounds have been particularly all that close. Yeah, in the previous round, a 1v2 opportunity, but always was going to be very unlikely. Also, back-to-back 3K rounds for Lunchbox. Couple that with his 5K in the second round. He's had 3 multi-kill rounds. Highest rated player at a 150 EPS. As Proxy, though, gets the opening kill onto Relays. The Relays shut down, goes for the aggressive peek, doesn't work. ANIOS have now got the advantage 5v4 in this first map point round.
Chiefs, though, have really shown the ability to fight back from these particular positions, show some aggression and some confidence. Jacob will continue to lurk on the solos, try and deal with the drone gathering info potential of the attack box as well, given the license to lurk second floor as well. But he'll now maybe look to reconnect below. Valk information also still plentiful for the defense. And so Box is really trying to find an opportunity now to exploit that. Just gotta be patient here. Not overplay his hand too much. Here's the blitz though.
Just a lap from Shaz, but that was always going to be ambitious. And then you've still got to play a top library stairs in Lunchbox. Wizard gets rid of Neptune, doubles down their advantage. 5v3. Player does still have a Nitrocell, but no, can't win his battle against Chef. And it seems like ANIOS are going to starve off at least one of these map points. Jay Kenner falls to Proxy. Lunchbox can't win his battle. ANIOS will not go down without a fight. Much better from them. And deservedly so as well. First half was very competitive. It would have been a shame to see them lose this map 7-3 and allow Chiefs to rattle off 4 straight. They fight back, keep themselves alive. 2 more opportunities for Chiefs to try and secure Chalet. Bar games, we go for the next round.
Yeah, probably a better demonstration of ANIOS' ability there to isolate picks. And then just ensuring they go through the remainder of the checklist there late round. They didn't allow the likes of Box or Jay Kenner to catch them off guard. They were able to leverage the blitz really nicely, gain that space. And even with the potential of maybe the Vulcan formation counter-infoing the attack, they had such superior advantageous positions that it really wasn't all that impactful. So maybe some more signs of life here on Chalet, potentially. But they'll still need to win 2 more to push OT. And from there, it's no guarantee that they'll be able to close out the map. So Chiefs retain a strong spot here. Pretty old school top floor extension here for bar defense.
Relay's not going to make the same mistake as the previous round and give up a freebie early. And Neptune with a nice little angle here. Top library. Definitely feel like going into Consulate though, expecting it to be hotly contested once again between these 2 teams. We're not done here just yet. Proxy and Eraser have been really solid fraggers for Team ANIOS. Chef Jeff sends in the shock drone towards Bar. Can see the hesitation though for ANIOS in entering the building, really taking their time, really good patience. Not feeling pressure to have to go fast, go quick. Candela thrown in from Shaz, looking to clear out this top library position. No one occupying the space here on the defense for Chiefs. So Kenna's watching towards mezzanine. Neptune up there as well.
I need to reload.
It's actually kind of deep position for Jay Kennett. Rather than playing at the mezzanine wall, he's got this shield and holding a more aggressive position, but he gets flamed out by the Capitao of Wizard. But it's taking a lot of time for ANIOS to clear out library.
Yin Candela's now to be cooked as the follow-up, and Wizard still with a couple of bolts here. It's critical that ANIOS make this util count right here, right now. They will not get a second opportunity for the redo.
See the drone as well. That's getting the information. Neptune gets rid of that. Jay Kennett retakes his place at this shield. They've just not been able to get rid of this shield. The bolt to clear it. But this time, Jay Kennett, instead of falling back, he will sit a little bit more deep. Lost Neptune, though. Good kill from Shaz. But they also clear out Jay Kennett. Wow. So a lovely little double kill clear in towards library gives ANIOS the player advantage and space at top library. Means a bit more emphasis now on relays to hold this position towards the stairs.
Yeah, but he gets drained out though, so forced out, flushed out, 40 seconds on the clock. It's up to really Box now to try and make the play, and he does so. Chef Jeff caught 3v3.
Good reposition from Box to get rid of Chef Jeff. They've still got player in bar stock. Does still have a gas babe available. No more smokes left, but 2 Candelas for Shaz. 20 seconds, you've got to start to now hit towards the site. These Candelas need to be utilized. They want to clear out Mudroom. Relays are sitting in there. Will these Candelas bank off the wall nicely? Indeed they do. Full white onto Relays. Box goes towards Fireplace. Player lost his life bar stock. Good kill. Wizard needs to get the plant down and stick it. No one really close by to go for the denial, but Box and Relays won their 1v1s. Poor old Wizard stuck in the corner, low on health. But Relays and Box, not exactly full health either, and Wizard was able to slip out. Really good reposition from Wizard here. 30 seconds in the 1v2.
Got to be a clean trade here from Chiefs. They cannot feed ones into this position.
And they will not. Relays watching nicely as Lunchbox got on the kit. Chiefs will take the opening map 7-4. As they're able to get past Team ANIOS. A solid performance from both teams to kickstart their campaigns for kickoff, but Chiefs far too good in the end.
out. Throw my elbows up and my money out. Cause I came to get down, so let's run it up. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left. Keep it going till there ain't nothing left.
They've come out windmilling like an Englishman looking for a scrap. But talking of a scrap, Pino!
If he goes uncontested and the kick goes cold, that'll be devastating. The grenade goes through, that's the swing! Cyber and Bullet are able to get one apiece with the kit so far away, and Canadian down upstairs.
Cyber, wow, that was special.
It's a 1 versus 3 to hold, and they're pushing him from behind. He's found one. He's got to get the vertical as well. They get pulled off Tim. We're down to the last 3 or 4 seconds. Ryder's got another. He's held on. He's going to do it. And PSG take the 2-1 win.
Both players spotted, but the res can be made successfully.
Oh! Got another one for Solotov. Information from the bees. He goes in. Shotgun.
They cement themselves as one of the greatest of all time.
He's starting to get cooked alive, Ollie, but he's using the stim pistols. Look at this from the dock. Surely not. Brilliant! That's play of the year in my book.
Plays the game, hits the old body, doesn't quite catch it. There's the
Oh,
impact.
he gets it!
There's the dash! He doesn't have the confirmation! He's going back, he's not quite sure. He
Eski gotta
has
go.
a few seconds. Stick it, Ness, stick it!
This is an angle that he might be able to contest. No, unfortunately, he takes just a bit of damage there. A walk, I guess, to the second one. Eclipse, though, will get one, turning it into a 2v2. Now they push it on the side. The Bandit will lose out on this. Eclipse, the last alive on the Ella. He spots the head and takes him down. The ace for Waka.
He will down VC. Canadian positioning to pick up, but that's going to result in a double nade from Vertical. That's 4 for him in the round. Necroc's the final defender against Vertical. The ace, absolute domination.
You believe in magic, Michael! Team 1 does as they win the Mexico Major.
best that this region has got to offer.
The opening map of Chalet securing their map pick. In the end, it was pretty comfortable in the second half, guys, but it was competitive in the first half. And so I'm still confident about ANIOS going into the second half, in the second map.
Yeah, I think in terms of taking a step back and looking at just the match as a whole, and even stripping away the names of the teams or the players, the quality itself was quite good. Some good moments, some good punches thrown from both ANIOS and Chiefs. Just a little bit more refined overall from Chiefs, and that's kind of the expectation heading into this matchup with the players on offer and the experience that they have. And they displayed that inside of the server. Sure, tested. A 3-3 scoreline at the half for ANIOS looked great, but then Chiefs able to surge ahead and just establish that nice cushion on the first rotation of defense that ANIOS then had to try and fight their way back from, and unfortunately were unable to do so. But in terms of setting up the series, Jake, Consulate looks pretty tantalizing as a potential comeback here for ANIOS.
Yeah, it certainly does. They started well on Chalet. If they can do so again here, give them a little bit of a buffer. Lunchbox was unbelievable on Chalet. He dropped 15 kills, 2-0 on the entry. Probably the only downside was his actual cost was 55%, second worst on the team, but that does not matter if you're putting in the bigger numbers. Consulate, Team ANIOS begin on the attack. Their map pick in the series. Need to win it, otherwise they will drop to the lower bracket. Kickoff is brutal. There's no group stage, there's no warm-up games, there's no best of ones. It's a straight double elimination bracket, and these are your opportunities pretty much from the get-go. Otherwise, you face a very daunting task if you do drop the upper bracket quarterfinal game that we've got on offer at the moment. As we get into the ban phase, Tachanka Grim first off the board. Player doesn't want the smoke banned. Chef Jess says, okay, no worries.
So it will be the Clash and the Thatcher, actually, to round things off. Thatcher, of course, I guess somewhat recently reworked at this point in time. No longer a throwable EMP, it's instead shoulder mounted, and it actually can be quite strong in some limited circumstances. Consulate most notably probably for things like denying planting off or a top floor CEO window plant. Can also be used in more basic forms such as like opening up a garage wall and stuff like that, but especially being able to sit on the roof or the rappel for top floor attacks by stripping that away. The Chiefs have made it a little bit more easily defendable in that position, especially with the Tachanka taken off the board initially. That's maybe why player was a little bit concerned about the smoke, because you take away the Tachanka and the smoke, then it makes it tough. But with Thatcher unavailable, it would have always been a challenge regardless, and you always have Goyo available, which of course will be selected as well here for the opening round here from Chiefs. So some interesting little counterplay moments just in the ban phase itself. And excited to see these two go toe-to-toe on cons.
Curious to see if Lunchbox can kind of back up that Chalet performance. I feel like you kind of look at last year, and maybe one of the growing pains for someone who's clearly so talented and young was just the consistency of being able to have those kind of matches on a regular basis. He certainly always had the capabilities of dropping 15 to 20 kills, but then he also had the capabilities of really quiet performances too. It's just all about trying to string together far more consistent maps. So dominant on Chalet. ANIOS started really well on Chalet, but the second half just got away from them. So if they can start well again here on Consulate. Chiefs though on defense will not be easy to get past. So far, it's just the rappel game to begin in the opening minute. Nitrocell thrown out from Neptune. Doesn't quite get the result he was after. Box over towards managers. Knows that he is getting aggressed upon by Shaz on the blitz.
Oh. The cross allowed
clear out box.
Yeah. Good work from a Razor. 5-4 Neptune in a real pickle and taken down. This has been a really nice clear.
Yeah, really nice little peek from Wizard. That's the crouch band peek, gets the kill onto Neptune. 5v3, got to capitalize in this round now. Plenty of time. You can start to take good territory around the map. Kenna just holds his possession over towards Vending. Chef. Chekina has now vacated. They've cleared out. They've got, again, good control established for ANIOS. Shaz doing a decent job on the blitz, just kind of pushing forward, poking and prodding, helping his team take space. Relays over towards long desk. NSF just got to make sure they don't leave themselves little time at the end of the round where things can then get scrappy. You've got the advantage, you've got the time. Make the most of it. Only one gas babe left as well for player.
That might squeeze them forward, and it does so, but met with pressure. Shaz low on HP, and he's taken down. But will it be enough for Chiefs?
Yeah, they lost relays at the same time, so even though Shaz goes down, good flash. Wizard in towards default. They cleared out Jay Kenner. Player has not been able to get out of this position at all to help defend the site. It will be ANIOS to take the opening round. Player got one for good measure, but it does not matter. ANIOS on the board first on Consulate.
Yeah, probably goes down on paper as one of their stronger rounds in the series so far. A really compact clear over towards admin side, and then late round proxy over towards yellow for the pinch. And even with the blitz falling, they had that back pressure, that fill-in potential as well in towards default. Isolated player. And they made that round look quite straightforward. So really good to see. I mean, the replay package will confirm that. Early pick on a box. Neptune found himself in a rough position. Despite Shad's falling, there's the pinch from behind. And player's position, of course, known prior after the util that he dispersed was very easy to isolate. Let's see if they can roll that momentum forward now.
I just feel like Consulate as a map is going to suit ANIOS really, really nicely in comparison to Chalet, which at times can play a little bit more open, certainly aggressive. Neptune actually gets onto the Echo. Very defensive-minded lineup by Chiefs. Heading to basement for the second round, so Razor hops onto the ramp. Typically on basement Consulate as well, if you want to have a little bit more presence above, you can, but to me this just seems like Chiefs is just going to give everything up. It's a full 5-stack basement, but again, very defensive lineup.
Yeah, I mean, quad nitro. Echo as well in the mix. A lot of planting our potential here, and the ability, of course, to contest directly against the Vert, which will be one key objective for ANIOS with the Ram in play. Arrays will want to get those Boogie Auto breaches out to then expose that 5-stack down below. Relays looks forward.
Live drone, yeah, for relays. Yeah. We've seen this a little bit since the Echo changes with the extra Yokai drone. You kind of have one that you can use rather aggressively, and we're starting to see a lot more live drone for the defenders.
Oh, yellow ping. Oh, relays. It was a very narrow window, but unfortunately,
relays went too quick though. The relays needed to allow that Yokai to go in, get the burst, and then swing off it. And he kind of picked the doorway first, and then it was being watched. So he kind of, I would say, didn't play that as optimally as well as he could have.
Yeah, potential desync there on the teamwork, but he was able to escape though, so not too harmful. In the meantime as well, the Razor taken very low. One Nitro anywhere near his position will be enough to net that kill for Chiefs, so something to certainly keep in mind towards the latter portion of the round. Still a 5v5 for now, minute 10 on the clock. Chiefs to play heavy anchor now. With all that utility, the 2-barrel Zoda canisters as well can stall out some of these chokes too. Don't discount the impact of player.
Oh, a good little tag. Shaz pulled out the pistol for a very short amount of time, but that window created an opportunity to get some damage onto the blitz. Speaking about a Razor being susceptible to a Nitro Cell, Shaz certainly now as well, but they did throw out another one from Lunchbox. Only 2 more in pocket for Relays and Jay Kenner. Not worried about this timer though. No, lovely frag grenade onto Relays over towards the yellow pillar. Wizard collects the kill. There's the advantage again for ANIOS. Back-to-back opening kills for them as Neptune falls too. So no Yokais available. They lose the Echo. And this allows them to now push in towards site. Shaz is going to push straight past. Wonderful play from Shaz on the blitz. That's flawless from Team ANIOS. Wonderful execution towards the site, playing really, really nicely on Consulate to begin.
Yeah, a really nice flood. It's the kind of defensive hold where if you do find yourself stalled out or being hesitant, you're increasingly more susceptible to the utility that the defense has on offer. So by bypassing that and getting in the face of the opposition and having the attacking operators to facilitate that, namely the Blitz, a really good example, they were able to circumnavigate that. So good identification there from ANIOS, that going deep and going, quickly and being sharp with it was the optimal win con for them. And then being able to actually execute upon that was, quite nice to watch. So some good, presumably IGLing there from the team, and perhaps Chef Jeff having a hand in that. I think they'll be pretty pleased with how the opening 2 rounds have played out. And we'll just be looking to iterate upon that as the half continues.
Well, so far, so good for ANIOS. They got both the opening kills. They got Plant Down in the opening round, flawless in the second round. I mean, this is a statement start on Consulate. Chiefs are going to have to be a bit more proactive on the defense. They opted for the full 5-stack down below basement. That's fine, but the one instance where they actually tried to get somewhat aggressive was that live drone play with relays towards Piano, and that didn't even really fully work out the way they would have liked it. That could have really disrupted the round. Didn't, and then a wonderful flood on site from ANIOS meant that they, again, just kind of flexed their muscles at the end of the round. Just 2 kills in 2 rounds for Chiefs as a collective. 1 to Jake Kenner and 1 to Player. So the rounds have not been close. To begin on Consulate. Back to Chalet though, and ANIOS did win 2 of the first 3 rounds. Started well, and Chiefs then got themselves back into the game, but that was on ANIOS' defense. Might be different here on Consulate. It's Wizard and Shaz go double shield. Top yellow stairs drop. So far, so good. Off the back of the logic bomb. Been able to get away with this one. That's a good drop. Good space taken. Chef Jeff, though, caught by the Razor Bloom. Player finds the opening kill.
Yeah, the shortcut attack attempt down yellow stairs wasn't probably the most optimal decision, especially with Chef Jeff unable to find that pinch pressure, which was, of course, being watched from above and protected by the thorns. In the meantime, some space taken, though, by Wizard, and actioning upon that is a Razor. Can they make this work? Yes!
Good shot again from a Razor. Great headshot onto relays. And then Proxy finds his pick onto Neptune. Plant to go down. The dominance from ANIOS continuing on Consulate. It might even be timeout time for the Chiefs after this one. It's looking like 3-0 is going to be very likely. Especially double shield up in a post plant. Good luck. You'll need it. Box unable to find a kill. Again, 3 rounds straight for him. Still on that donut. Proxy makes quick work of Player. 3-0 start for ANIOS.
All over the Chiefs at the moment, who aren't responding to the kind of pressure on offer from ANIOS probably as well as they would have liked. Good example there over towards Piano with both anchors getting caught, not playing off one another. No support on the vert. It was a great start to the round for them, directly countering exactly what Chiefs wanted to do in terms of the yellow drop and maybe, either rushing above or below. The utility was preset, and the positions up above were also really good in countering the likes of Chef Jeff, installing out the shields initially, but then that second wave, that second part of the attack was very, very clean. As you estimated, it may be time for a Chiefs timeout, and that's exactly what's been called.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's really working at the moment, is it? 3 rounds straight. You've gotten Plant down twice. They've gotten 2 opening kills. Relay's got one, at the start of the last round, but then just the flood. So far, the flood from ANIOS has been very, very good here on Consulate. Time for Chiefs to kind of just talk things over, how they want to close this half out, how they want to just switch things up going into the last 3 rounds. They'll probably feel internally comfortable going into the second half on their own attack. They know that they are mechanically very gifted, but clearly there's gaps in their defense. Clearly it's all been a little too easy for ANIOS. These rounds have not been close. 3 alive in the first, flawless in the second, 4 alive in the third, and that was off the back of the one death being the opening death of the game, and then they just go and get the next 5. So yeah, very disappointing start for Chiefs off winning Chalet, being pretty much picked apart here in the opening 3 rounds. Timeout expires. how we find out whether the response will be swift.
Yeah, there's that moment there with the Rays being able to pluck to Piano. There was no, response from up above or any support mechanism for those players to get out of that position. That would definitely be frustrating for Chiefs. That one particular moment in isolation. You can pound that with 3 rounds going the way of their opposition. And probably a good opportunity to try and reset. And they're getting the 3 kills as a team so far, so it's all pointing towards being very, very one-sided for ANIOS, which is a credit to this particular roster and the kind of form that they've been able to build up towards the back end of last year and continuing to develop that project heading into kickoff. I think they're obviously a long way away from being anywhere close to their potential. Hopefully we get to see more signs of that throughout stage 1 and then maybe into stage 2. A question mark now on the Chiefs. How effective has that timeout been in resetting and developing a plan to respond? It's top floor. Double Nitro in play. The Pulse as well brought in to the mix. And so Relays will start his potential roam down below in basement.
I wouldn't say it's panic stations for Chiefs. Whenever you've got the first map in the bank, you're probably not overly worried, but with a pretty early timeout and a 3-0 start, and they need to respond if they want to wrap this up in 2. Relays trying to get some information. The cardiac sensor on the pulse. Neptune gets droned out towards long desk. Double nitrocell set up for Chiefs in this round. And ANIOS taking their time here in the 4th. This is another rather slow-paced round. It's Relays that collects with the nitrocell and gets rid of the Blackbeard. Shaz has been good on the shields. Coming out of the Challenger Series, it was one of the notes that he's a very strong shield player. 60 seconds, 5v4 for Chiefs. Can they get on the board?
Well, Box gets in on the action as well, and so the narrative quickly flipping. Neptune low, but should be essentially no impact as Proxy is now left all alone. Unraveling
he hasn't
that
died yet.
occasion. Oh, not yet. But he will.
He still hasn't
soon.
died yet.
Surely. Surely soon.
30 seconds. He has the yellow ping information. So vault in and then back in towards Spiral. Went for the reposition against Relays. That will be his first death. And that will be Chiefs' first round win on Consulate. Much better. Out of the tactical timeout. Chiefs able to stabilize. Better round for them. Pretty much dominate from start to finish in the 4th round. 2 rounds to go in the half.
So, another potential turn in this tail if Chiefs can start wagging, I suppose, their tail off the back of that tactical timeout, looking far more in control there in the 4th round, and it's down to basement round 5 where they'll elect to go pretty info heavy on both accounts, both gathering and denial. Relays with the Mozzie, and he can pest up above, and then play on Solace can gain information alongside the Pulse. Bit of a switch up from ANIOS on the flip side, who at least initially elected not to bring the Ram, which did afford them pretty good control up above last time out, in the likes of Piano, and then voting down below, clearing a pillar and a bit of space towards Garage, which then the shields exploited. So probably suggesting that we see a different approach this time out. It could be indicative that we actually see a server side hit, a couple of pre-placed drones on that portion of the map currently.
Changing mags. Let's see what I can find.
Chance for Relays here. He doesn't quite connect. Proxy looked a little bit ready for that window peak. And because of that readiness, was able to keep himself alive. That's what you want to see a little bit more of, though, from Chiefs. We saw a decent amount of that on Chalet, and hence why they were so successful. It's just bringing a bit more of that aggression here on Consular. Play the windows, be a bit more of a nuisance in allowing ANIOS into the map, just without doing it in an overly aggressive fashion. Yeah, just the one kill for Lunchbox in this half so far, and it's kind of what I was talking about coming into this map, guys. He can drop 15 on one map and then drop 3 on the next, and that's got to be the next step in his career, is finding that consistency.
So patience then from both teams across the map. As I say that, though, Shaz being peppered from above over towards Coffee, and he'll back and return to server. Good yellow ping info available here, but I think that goes both ways at the moment. This is risky for Neptune up on the boost. This is a do or die position. I don't foresee him being able to escape with his life. It's more so a question of how many he can take with him. He'll be calling for support over towards Kitchen, and he is getting that currently, I believe, from Box. Shaz walking into that potential cross, and there's vert pressure above. As Relays finds Chef Jeff. It's looking messy here for ANIOS. Oh, it's completely crumbled. Wow.
That completely destabilized ANIOS there. As soon as they realized there was a bit of pressure on that first floor, they just looked a little bit more shaken in terms of what they wanted to do, pushing through horizontally. That then just completely changed probably their communications and what they wanted to do in the round, and it completely unsettled them. Yeah, solid defense. Chiefs are back. 2 straight. Just like that, we got ourselves a map. It was all out ANIOS in the first 3 rounds. Like, there was just no real signs of life for Chief. And since then, obviously, Relays has actually gotten the opening kill 3 rounds straight. 2 of those have been on Chef Jeff. So they're starting to win more of the early battles. They're not allowing ANIOS to be as comfortable in the middle portion of the round. They just look more lively. They just look a little bit more switched on, more present in and around the map. Not allowing these plants to go down. We saw 2 from the first 3 rounds in favor of ANIOS, where they got the plant down comfortably. Relays up to 4 kills now. Final round of the half. It was a 3-3 half back on Chalet, and then Chiefs ran away with it in the second half. If ANIOS are not careful, it could happen again here on Consulate. Relays again, aggression early on. It's got 3 opening kills straight. Can he make it a 4th to close the half?
Oh, he looks pretty eager to commit to the play, waiting for the timing. Razor equally up to the task, waiting for it. And so, don't think Relays will commit. I think he's being watched at the moment anyway. This could be a bait potentially, I think, from ANIOS. Oh.
No bait.
Oh,
no bait.
Off. Okay.
Just complete unawareness from Shaz. And actually, Blackbeard down as well. Another opening kill for Relays. 4 rounds straight. He's found the opening pick. He's actually been involved in the last 5 opening engagements. From rounds 2 to 6, Relays has either gotten the opening kill or the opening death, and the opening death in the second round, and then 4 straight opening kills. Advantage for Chiefs. Looking to close this half out on a 3-round win streak.
So can they crawl their way back into this round then? At a deficit. Starved of information. Still decent belt of utility, but with another player falling in Wizard, that being hard breach, it's really limiting the potential for this attack to find win cons. Razor needs to go big. Big individual effort here. Trying his best to fight in towards meeting, but stalled out. Good defense from Chiefs. Chef Jeff lurk. DMR.
It's a very good luck from Chef Jeff. He's in a position they're not going to expect him here, but there's no one also here inside meeting. The only way this position finds success for Chef Jeff is if they kind of try to run back in and take meeting and they're not prepared for him being this deep. But at this point now, oh, there's a lovely pop-up headshot onto Relays, but Relays already did the damage. He got the kill onto a Razor. At that point, draw the attention for the remainder defenders. Good kill from Lunchbox. Jake Kenner, well, very, very dominant from Chiefs. They get the last 3 rounds straight. All tied at the half once again, just like Chalet. Well, the timeout works for Chiefs. They were 3-0 down. They called the tactical timeout and then rattle off 3 rounds straight. All tied at the half, similar to Chalet. They go into the attack now. ANIOS will be disappointed that after a very, very strong start on Consulate, like they didn't just win the rounds because they were very dominant. They had a flawless 4 alive, 3 alive in the first with plant down. They had really good floods on site. None of the rounds were really all that much of a contest. ANIOS won them all comfortably, and then 1 timeout. It just flips back the other way. Chiefs able to win 3 straight and 4 rounds away from closing the series out. CO meeting will be the site choice for ANIOS to kickstart the second half. Bands were, well, I lost them because we went into the replay, so I was about to rattle them off, but you can touch on them when we get back.
Yeah, really just to illustrate the point of the Chiefs biting back after that tack timeout. Relays 3 opening kills in a row in those last 3 rounds. A total of 4 consecutive opening kills if you factor in round 3 where they didn't convert. So really good individual effort from him. And then Chiefs and the rest of the team able to get the job done in terms of conversion. The bans for round 7 onwards to be Glaz Ying, 2 very execute heavy operators viable here on Consulate, and then on the side of defense, Azami and Goyo.
And we'll see whether or not Chiefs can continue to roll on Chalet. For reference, they were able to win 6 of the last 8 rounds. 4 of the last 5. So they really, when they got going, they were hard to stop. Looking at the series as we enter the halfway mark of really the series. 19-10 for Relays. He leads all comers in terms of KDA. 16-11 for Proxy. He's been very good. 6-3 here on Consulate. 2-1 on the entry. He's been their best player. Drop down top yellow for Box on the blitz with the Adrenal Surge activated. But they lose player to Chef Jeff. Jkenna got a trade. They got the quick plant inside of CO. Are ANIOS ready for this? They're being able to find kills. The plant will be successful. Good cover from Relays onto a Razor. Pushing to deny. Box can't stay alive on the Blitz. Down to Neptune in a 1v3. ANIOS just got to make sure they do everything from here correctly, and they'll win the round.
Well, Neptune swiftly repositions down below.
Oh, how does he not time to that? How does Proxy not kill him first time? Shaz is down here as well. Neptune's low, but Chef Jeff's getting on the plant. Does he have... to your left! To your left, Neptune! No. Oh, what a messy, messy post plant. Well played by ANIOS, though. They just got pretty much steamrolled into sight. CO can play like that at time, but they responded quickly, and they take the round.
Oh, it was very fast tempo there. The attack from Chiefs, trying to ramp up that pressure, try to prevent ANIOS from quickly repositioning and denying that plan. And whilst initially it did work, they felt too many members over towards that yellow push, the box push. Ultimately left Neptune alone on Repel. If you had at least had a second player up to cover the bench position and that rotation in towards Piano, for instance, it could have been a lot more interesting and opened up that potential for the vertical denial that Neptune was ultimately. But not to beat, and basement for round.
Well, that's exactly what ANIOS needed, though, to start the second half after 3 rounds straight for Chiefs. And then almost kind of got punched in the face to start the second half as well with the quick rush attempt towards CO. We have basement for round 8. Razor will get on to the Solus. And a big change up from Chiefs and Guz. It looks like Solid Snake's going to enter the building.
Yeah, finally. A little bit surprised it's taken this long, and I suppose on console it's going to be a little bit more intriguing to see what kind of attacking pattern and what route Neptune looks to commit to. Of course, with that radar up, you can see if the floor that he is on, if that proximity around him is in fact clear or not, and then if the ability is to be activated, you can then get a live ping on their position. That, of course, notifying though the defender simultaneously, in a somewhat similar interaction to Deimos. Elsewhere though, drone work top floor. So it's a pretty split attack here from Chiefs, trying to just gather as much info / map control as possible early and then open up some routes later.
I mean, definitely the kind of map that Snake will have influence on. Deimos and Snake is a lot of informational gathering available for Chiefs. It is largely a stack in basement for ANIOS, so not really going to gain too much information right now. But it does aid the room clear. It does speed things up, makes it feel a little bit more comfortable. And the good news is actually lowered this lineup too, because if they don't play to their own game, and you don't get as much from the Deimos and the Snake, well, guess what? Then the Buck and the Ram are going to get to work. And then you get the Capitao as well for the end of round execution. This is a lovely lineup for Chiefs. The lineup alone isn't going to just guarantee you a win. We saw a really good flood into basement site in the first half from ANIOS. Going to need to see something as well here from Chiefs that is akin to that. So far, they've not really been able to benefit from having this first floor advantage, opening up the floorboards. No kills yet. 60 seconds left.
So triple nitro for ANIOS. Yet to be expended. Groundwork completed now by the attack, and Chiefs looking to posture. Layer down this utility from Jkenna, play off that information. They have quad flash available, double grenade. But can they connect the dots here? Pressure out this defense. There's the first.
Oh, yeah, good clear yellow pillar, and that's a big kill. No Zoto canister left. Opens up towards bot yellow. You still got the floorboards. 30 seconds. This is good timing right now for Chiefs. And you also know the pressure's coming.
Good flash. Will the flood follow? Proxy low. Wizard pushed back, and Box finds another 20 seconds on the clock.
No, there's no way they're going to be able to deny this plan either. Everyone's just pushed so far back. But the Nitro does connect on to bottom. Well, the plan went down, but they just found kills everywhere. They retook above. The Razor got first floor control, and they've won the round. ANIOS just win the round. Chiefs did the setup perfectly. They got the clear towards pillar. They get the pick. They get into a plant position. But ANIOS retook first floor. They were able to win all their 1v1s. Just mind-boggling how Chiefs have lost that round. But it just comes down to sheer gunplay from ANIOS. Good rotates, repositioning. They were pushed back. They knew they couldn't contest the plant, but they contested everyone else, won those battles. Jay Kenner gets off from the plant. He's like, where is everyone? How have we lost this?
Yeah, the initial squeeze on the defense and the pressure pinch over towards pillar, and then as we were kind of mentioning, the defense was stacked back. They're playing long lines, not in a position to deny plant, but then as the Chiefs try and pivot away from their plant coverage positions, that's where ANIOS kind of snapped into action. We're able to find those kills in that space and then make that utility count. And so just a testament to their ability to just kind of read the tempo of the round appropriately. They showed enough patience and restraint to not just throw bodies at the kit for no reason. They were, you know, pretty content to let that plant go down if required and then catch that attack off guard in the transition phase, which ultimately played out absolutely perfectly to a T. So again, some really good fundamental siege.
That bank is going to be required. The way that ANIOS have responded after 3 rounds straight from Chiefs to close the half out. ANIOS looking the better here, and defense looking, well, the stronger side on Consulate. We haven't seen an attacking round win since the 3rd round from both teams. And so far for Chiefs, everyone in the negative except for Relays. It's been a really good series right now from Proxy, Eraser, Chef Jeff. Finding form, a good chance for Eraser. Box, I don't know how he hasn't taken more damage, let alone how the fact he's alive, but Jay Kenner caught by Chef Jeff. Here's the aggression from ANIOS. Maybe a little bit too much, though, from Chefy Jeffy. Does get the kill, betrayed it back immediately. Warden, down. Yeah, you lose the Sens, but I'd rather have the Warden.
Yeah, very chaotic beginning to the round on the exterior. So 2 minutes on the clock, a lot of time now for both teams to digest. Diffuser in the hands of Box. And he'll now look to pivot that back to the rest of the attack.
Reloading!
It's just the single player of Wizard on the first floor currently. It's a 3-stack up above, 2nd floor. For ANIOS, and Chiefs eager to contest. Neptune with pocket EMPs to counter the Denari. As you can see, Relays and Box close by to aid in this wave forward.
Only the one Nitrocell, that's Wizard, caught by Relays. Not a good timing indeed. Good catch by Relays. Reinforcement up from Eraser towards CO. Chiefs have the advantage. First time on the attack in the second half where they've probably been in the winnable position. With the opportunity to just keep this map alive. Shaj looking to take a bit more of a forward position towards long desk. Plays the one that's towards Spiral. Neptune can't quite find the timing. And then gets caught by Eraser. Just punished on the positioning for Neptune. But Relays continues his march in this map of Consulate. He goes double digits, 10 and 6. He's the main reason that Chiefs are even still a chance, let alone in the round. But in this map, as Shaz wins against Box. Box has struggled. It's a 1v2 now as ANIOS on the verge of securing map point. Relays is going to have to clutch it up big time. 1 HP, kit in hand with 13 seconds. One above, both above. He'll go for the plant inside of Piano. And he will not be allowed to sick that kit. It is 6-3, 3 map points for Team ANIOS as bank is looming.
Yeah, indeed it is. ANIOS have really stepped it up here over the course of the last couple of rounds. They've looked really sharp. Chiefs are offering some counterplay, but just aren't able to have the same level of sharpness at the duration of the round, letting a couple of opportunities slip, and ANIOS are capitalizing upon those chances, which is impressive to see. I mean, you don't see this every day as well. Looking across at that opening kill column, we mentioned it heading into the halftime break that it was Relays with 4 straight. As we enter the second half, Chef Jeff has been able to net 2 so far. historically a player that hasn't been particularly entry battles. Replay package of that prior round though, round number 9. Chiefs trying to push forward with that wave. The mirror made things tough. Some of the util clearance was well avoided by the defense. So with a 3-round lead, I totally agree with the sentiment that Bank seems very, very likely.
It's been a really solid team performance again from Team ANIOS. Yeah, top player's got 8 kills, the bottom player's got 6 kills. That's a very small separation. Razor and Proxy with 17 kills each in the series. In the top 2 fraggers for ANIOS as Bank potentially on the horizon, but it has been a map of streaks. 3 to ANIOS, 3 to Chiefs, 3 to ANIOS. Will we get 3 to Chiefs? But it took a tactical timeout last time to help facilitate that little push from Chiefs. They're thinking about a more aggressive round here. CO meeting once again. Jakenna on the blitz. So many go up for the repel, but Relay's going to go up yellow stairs. Deathmark from Box onto Proxy. Double Nitro set up for ANIOS, so not a whole heap of utility this round. Still a Grismot mine in the pocket as Jakenna's towards CO, getting the plant down. There was a frag grenade thrown over his shoulder. He's going to die to the Nitro cell of a Razor, pushed up close as well. Relays was able to get rid of Wizard. That was over towards Expo. I don't know about that from Neptune, just with the blind vault in. And Razor held his position, caught from below. Relays doing his job on the buck nicely in this round, doing as best as he can here on Consulate is Relays, 12 and 7. And the beauty of going early with the attempt that they did, guys, is there's still 2 minutes on the clock. Yeah, the kit's not in their control, but they just lost to Relays. Well, that's going to make it a lot harder now. Box, player, 2v3 to try and keep this map alive.
Yeah, struggling to capitalize off that Deimos information at Chiefs and now find themselves in a rough spot. Player looking for the trade is in the middle of a potential pinch, but they themselves now flip it with a pinch onto yellow. Shaz, though, withstands it and Box in a 1v3.
This one's done. Yeah, Box hasn't been able to get going on Consulate the way that he did on Chalet, where he dropped 15 kills, just the 4 and 6 on Consulate. ANIOS, well, they probably felt like they were in the map on Chalet. It was a 3-3 half, and then Chiefs went on a roll, closed out that one. They started well again here on Consulate. Then Chiefs got back in, similar to Chalet, but this time they were able to regain the momentum, put themselves in a winning position, and firmly now on the verge of a 7-3 win on Consulate as Box is spotted towards yellow stairs. There is Proxy and Piano. He does get the kill. This one's done. All 3 maps are required as ANIOS bounce back on Consulate.
come out windmilling like an Englishman looking for a scrap. But talking of a scrap, Pino!
If he goes uncontested and the kick goes cold, that'll be devastating. The grenade goes through, that's the swing! Cyber and Bullet are able to get one apiece with the kit so far away, and Canadian down upstairs.
Cyber, wow, that was special.
It's a 1 versus 3 to hold, and they're pushing him from behind. He's found one. He's got to get the vertical as well. They get pulled off him. We're down to the last 3 or 4 seconds. Ryder's got another. He's held on. He's going to do it. And PSG take the 2-1 win.
Both players spotted, but the res can be made successfully.
Got another one for Solotov. Information from the bees. He goes in. Sevens! They cement themselves as one of the greatest of all time.
He's starting to get cooked alive, Ollie, but he's using the stim pistols. Look at this from the dock. Surely not. Brilliant! That's play of the year in my book.
Plays the game, hits the old body, doesn't quite catch it. There's the
Oh, he gets it!
There's the dash! He doesn't have the
he doesn't know!
confirmation. He's going back, he's not quite sure. He
Nesk, you
only
gotta
has
go.
a few seconds. Stick it, Nesk, stick it!
This is an angle that he might be able to contest. No, unfortunately, he takes just a bit of damage there. A walk, I guess, to the second one. Eclipse, though, will get one, turning it into a 2v2. They push it on the side. The Bandit will lose out on this. Eclipse, the last alive on the Ella. He spots the head and takes him down. The ace for Waka.
He will down BC. Canadian positioning to pick up, but that's going to result in a double nade from Vertical. That's 4 for him in the round. Necrox, the final defender against Vertical. The ace, absolute domination.
You believe in magic, Michael. Team 1 does as they win the Mexico Major.
I'm breaking necks and I'm wilding out. Throw my elbows up and my money out. Cause I came to get down, so let's run it up. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left. I'ma keep it going, I'ma keep it going, I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left.
They've come out windmilling like an Englishman looking for a scrap. But talking of a scrap, Pino!
If he goes uncontested and the kick goes cold, that will be devastating. The grenade goes through, that's the swing! Cyber and Bullet are able to get one apiece with the kit so far away, and Canadian down upstairs.
Cyber, wow, that was special.
It's a 1 versus 3 to hold, and they're pushing him from behind. He's found one. He's got to get the vertical as well. They get pulled off tick. We're down to the last 3 or 4 seconds. Ryder's got another. He's held on. He's going to do it. And PSG take the 2-1 win.
Both players spotted, but the res can be made successfully.
Oh! Got another one for Solotov. Information from the bees. It goes dead. Shotgun. W7s! They cement themselves as one of the...
He gets it just in time.
There's no time remaining. It is enormous. They are the best that this region has got to offer.
Responding on Consulate as they take the second map and do so rather convincingly. A bank is required, guys. All 3 maps required for this series, which is not too much of a surprise. I think we labeled this one as being hotly contested coming into the series. Maybe Chiefs having the edge on paper, and they certainly edged out the first map. ANIOS, though, looked very competitive on the first map and ultimately get the win on the second. It does mean, as we head into this third map, it really is either team's game series up for grabs. Like, either of these two can win it from here, and that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, we've seen 2 hotly contested maps, Chalet Cons, 2 maps that play out structurally quite different, and Bank will be kind of a mold of the 2. So yeah, I certainly agree with the point that it's very, very challenging to have a prediction heading into the final map. The momentum swings in this series across both maps really have been quite violent. ANIOS got off to a great start here on Consulate, for example. Then Chiefs were able to wrangle them back, but then ANIOS respond. Relays, certainly a play to watch. A couple of relays throughout this package for sure. Mounted that 4 opening kill streak from rounds 3 to the final of that first half, but then tapered off a little bit there as ANIOS really came alive on defense. They were so difficult to take down. Even when Chiefs mounted pressure for executes, they then responded in posts. A lot went right for them, and I think they'll be pretty pleased with how they were able to convert the map.
Yeah, very good team performance as well for ANIOS on Consulate, where there wasn't really just that one big standout. I mean, Eraser towards the end certainly filled his boots. He got 10-6, right? So, like, he was, I think, 8-6 going into last round, then gets 2 more kills. That did create a little bit of a buffer to Wizard, who finished with 5-6. But ultimately, it was a solid team performance. So, again, Proxy had a good map. Chef Jeff really came to life as well. And over the course of the series now, across the 2 maps, 19 for Eraser, 19 for Proxy, 14 for Chef Jeff, as he's smiling and he's having a great old time. Very winnable for ANIOS, because it's the kind of team, I think, for me, and the way that Chef Jeff and his career has been is, I don't think he overstresses things. I don't think he really tilts. Like, I think he's always having fun. He probably always feels like the underdog. He probably always feels like the opposing team is typically in the position of thinking, yeah, we got to win this one. And that's probably the case for this Chiefs roster, is they do probably need to win this one. They've got such a talented lineup. Many would probably look at them as being the number 2 team, at least on the preseason rankings coming into kickoff, and at the mercy now of potentially dropping the lower bracket on day 1.
Yeah, I feel like irrespective of who actually wins out this particular series, the one on the receiving end, the one that loses out, is going to feel really hard done by. Of course, the seeding for the bracket was random, and so with that can come interesting matchups, especially in the first round, ones that are on paper very close, and this is probably one of them heading into the day. And so especially if map 3 is close, maybe a potential OT, right? You lose that, you're in the lower bracket, you're in such a rough position to try and make a run towards the major, and it would be a little bit demotivating. But I think however it shapes out, both teams are going to take a lot of learnings from this matchup, and ultimately, if you take a step back and look at OCE as a whole, all of these teams are still playing catch up to EP.
Yeah, I mean, naturally, that goes without saying. You've got a roster that's been put together full of the most experienced international players. As Relays, though, on our screen here is certainly, in that kind of conversation of experience, and has certainly been performing in the series so far, has easily been the best for Chiefs. 24-14, 6-2 on entry. His numbers across the first 2 maps, with a 133 EPS. He's been statistically the best player. He's made some really good plays. I think the issue isn't so much Relays or even Chiefs in terms of their numbers or their fragging ability. Mechanically, they've been fine. It's probably more so the team synergy has been off at times. You know, a good example was even kind of on Consulate, on defense. I think it was actually involving relays with the live drone echo play where it just was a little out of sync. And I think that's probably a good showcase of maybe where they've been at in the series so far. They've got the players, they've got the mechanical skill, just got to gel together as a team.
Absolutely. Fundamentals are going to be key, and Bank is probably right up there alongside the likes of Clubhouse for a map that will test those fundamentals and being in sync as a unit. Let's jump into the action. It's the third and final map. ANIOS taking on Chiefs.
Well, it's been a good one so far. Back and forth. A good competition between these two. By the way, the winner of this, guys, your reward, your prize, is an early date with Enterprise in that upper bracket semi-final. So that'll be a fun one. And I mean, you laugh and look, it's a difficult prospect, but similar to what I said with Barbie Boys, you want to play Enterprise as early as possible. Not because it might give you a better opportunity of beating them, but it's a good official scrim against the best team to kind of gauge the way that they play. You don't want your first time playing them in a grand final. You don't want to be like, oh, we haven't played them yet. We've made the grand final. Now we've got to play them. And then you get picked apart because you're just not used to their play style, the way that they operate, their positions that they play, their strengths, you know, how to exploit potential weaknesses. So I think getting a crack at them early and learning from that is super important. And that's kind of, I guess, the prize. And if you do happen to beat them, well, I mean, then that's great because you're likely then going to probably go on and make the grand final, and you might then play them again knowing you've already beat them. So it's win-win for that prospect. ANIOS will begin on defense. No surprise we go basement, but it looks like we will get a rehost as called by Sheffy Jeffy. So we've got ourselves a little bit more time. Wizard stuck ping-wise. There's one thing about Siege that has always kind of annoyed me a little bit is how everything's just called a rehost for like any problem. It's like, bro's got a ping problem. Now we got to restart the entire lobby. It's like he can't just solo disconnect, fix his own stuff. It's like, no, everything has to be shut down. It's like, that's, I don't know. We need to find a way that rehosts are only for the big important things where it's affecting the entire lobby and not just for any issue where it's just, we just call it rehost. Like, annoys me.
Yeah, hopefully we can get that resolved as quickly as possible. We'll update you as soon as we get progress. Hopefully it's just as simple as a quick restart or something. We can get Wizard back in. It would certainly be disappointing if that's not the case, and that leads to some kind of longer term issue and we can't resume the match, but that's obviously highly unlikely and won't be priority. We did get the bans to play out there on Bank, and operating under the assumption that all stays the same, which should be the case. Glaz Ying, Azami, and Tubarao. Again, execute heavy, much like Consulate in terms of the large portion of attacking bans that we saw. And then on the side of defense, Azami has been frequently banned out on almost every occasion that I can see. Not quite everyone, but close to. And Tubarao as well.
Take a very short break here as we get the rehost underway.
Hey, baby. Can I tell you what's on my mind? beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good karma is a must. Still my shooter in the cut. I was stuck inside a rut. Played the game, made bank, move G. Anything to get a buck. You won't find me in the club. I'm in the lab trying to sharpen up the sword. Swinging blades at these scrubs. Flock like bugs to the light. Getting right. Treat my hoes like these raps. I don't really got a type. Off top, bullshit. All I needed was a mic. Yeah. Hey, pass the rock, it's all butter. Pack your bags and take flight. Don't worry, it's all covered. Hey, live your life while you can. Our days are all numbered. Rain could cause thunder, but the sun comes after, clearing up the disaster.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody day's a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Yeah.
I got some places I should take you to see. You know it's easy when you ride with a G. Light speed, moving fast through the city, trying to find me some peace. I finally lived to be the guy that I was dying to be. Still I got some trust issues, people lie through their teeth. The more I grew, the more they hide in the crease. Squad building, weak members get released. If we trying to compete, starting pitchers need relief. Bro, we building a team, everybody got a niche. I've been known to play mine to a T, but it's time for me to lead. Picking dirt right out the cleats. Steep path, roadblocks in the streets, trying to knock me off my feet, cause the devil never sleeps. So I don't sleep too, and trying to breach safes that I didn't have the keys to. We all been victims of trauma we ain't agreed to, but the sun comes after, starting up a new chapter.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody day's a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Yeah. Isn't it lovely?
Alrighty, welcome back as we've got the rehost completed and we can get underway for Bank, the third and final map of this series. Already straight into the opening round as Team ANIOS on the defense first. We go Lockers CCTV to begin. So the Bones, Glaz, Ying, Azami, and the Tuber out. As these two teams have been very, very close. And I can't imagine it's going to change too much here on the third and final map. In fairness, 7-4, 7-3. The maps themselves not exactly going down to the wire, but the series will.
Dump that utility down in towards CC and then go for a plan off the back of that. Proxy finds the first stone, the jump up from a Razor. So they don't initially peel, they catch Chiefs off guard, and, well, that should basically be the round over.
It's never round over. 5v3, still a lot of time remaining, but it's going to be very difficult. Need to find the next kill for Chiefs if they're going to be able to break open this basement defense, which is the hardest site on Bank. You still have the ROUs of Neptune. That Shamika launcher fully charged, 3 gas babes. Still got to deal with the Vulcan canisters. Got Griswold mines, Hefnot mines. So much utility defensively still placed for Team ANIOS. This is where, though, for Chiefs, you can't just go about your business in the conventional sense. You got a minute. Have you got different avenues to find a couple of kills? Open up this defense. See the stack towards admin. Box caught in the long angle, though, by Chef Jeff. Neptune was just hoping to play off the ROUs. Drop down, go for the plant. Proxy gets rid of Neptune. On the verge of flawless now to kickstart the third map. Player's just going to drop down in hope. Hope is not there. It's flawless indeed. Pause coming after immediately as well. Tech pause called by Chiefs as ANIOS take the opening round.
Yeah, really good work there from ANIOS to be able to confirm the round. Traditionally, we see from that open area extension that teams will peel pretty quickly once they feel initial pressure, maybe once they clear a couple of drones or two, but instead they hold their ground. And sometimes if the attack isn't anticipating that, which I don't think was actually really the case, I think Chiefs are actually acutely aware of it, sometimes you can spring into action, find a couple of kills, then fall back. It's obviously far more high risk, but the reward is greater if you can net even 1 kill and then retreat and fortify. It's great. On that occasion, ANIOS 2, and that's why essentially I called it the time. The round, although not officially over, was basically a 95 to 99% win rate for ANIOS from that position, and they play it out exactly like that. So good work from them. As you said as well, end of the round, Chiefs calling a timeout. Technical timeout, I believe, was it? Or was it a tactical?
No, technical.
Okay.
Not
yeah,
the
not sure
cleanest.
What the issue was, but yeah.
Not the cleanest map so far in terms of the tech issues that have played back, unfortunately, but clean, very clean, flawless from ANIOS, at least in winning that opening round. It started off Proxy finding the opening kill onto relays, and then it kind of just all fell apart for Chiefs. Heading into the second, tech pause over, and we head top floor. Good start for ANIOS. They take the lead in the series now with that round win. And the winner of this will play Enterprise next week in the upper bracket semi-final. Loser will drop down to the lower bracket, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 best of 3s you'd have to win consecutively to make the major without loss.
Yeah, it'll be one hell of a gauntlet run from the lower bracket if any team is to make it from that far out. With how good EP looked today and how that roster is likely shaping up and the form that they should reach as the days go by, it's so difficult to envision any team taking them down, never mind making a run through the lower bracket to do so. That would be a story for the ages here in OCE. It would be one of the bigger performances we've probably seen in this region's history. Not to make too big early calls like that on day one, but it very much does shape up to be like that if EP are to fall and if a team is to make a run from that deep. Into round 2 though. Early pressure, top square, soft wall open. Jakenna with diffuser in hands. He's top square on the blitz.
Well, Proxy got the opening kill, but there's a couple all happening at once. It leaves ANIOS with the extra number. Proxy's still battling at airlock. It's Chef Jeff who comes and helps out as well towards top square. They get rid of Neptune. No more ROUs, and this attempt from Chiefs looking unlikely. Player able to at least get one back onto Chef Jeff. Overstayed his welcome top square. And then a Razor with a DMR headshot long range hits the head of player. Box, who's been waiting patiently for the trapped Proxy, but now finds himself by himself 1v3. ANIOS on the verge of a 2-0 start.
Yeah, really good shutdown defense again. Early disruption from ANIOS. It compounds it and it snowballs. 2 rounds straight. And Chiefs, their game plan and their tactics at the moment with these kind of set play setups, they're not really being allowed to find that stability and then find a trigger point in the round to actually go for the execute because of the way ANIOS are playing. So they need to start thinking about how they're going to respond to that. Do they maybe be a little bit more patient? Do they play a little bit more fluid? Do they try and lurk on other parts of the map instead and find more pinch pressure as opposed to these more front-on attacks? I fear that if they continue to play this kind of play style without adjustment, that ANIOS could continue to mount rounds.
New camera feed activated.
You got to be a little bit concerned right now if you're Chiefs, but admittedly, it's only 2 rounds. You lost probably one of the more likely rounds that you're going to lose on basement anyway. 4-0 for Proxy. 4-1 for Chef Jeff. And Proxy, by the way, now is getting pretty close to being the kill leader of the series. Only 2 kills behind Relays. He has been such a big standout. Chef Jeff sets up one of the mirror windows inside Janitor. We see staff and open area. I do wonder how much ANIOS will look to actually contest around that Janitor position. Triple nitrocells available defensively. Relays straight away on the nook in through lobby. And he is taking space really quick into this round.
Oh. Wizard, though, with the catch. It's a standoff between these two. Wizard, shotgun hole established. Does he find the timing? Oh, it's so awkward.
Well, it really knows he can pick from 2 angles now. But Wizard hasn't picked it all yet. He's played this really nicely. Relays, though, good reposition to just try and minimize the pressure. And then also... Oh, what a shot from Proxy. That is a wonderful shot. And at the exact same moment, the Gram of Lunchbox has also been eliminated. It's a 2-player advantage for ANIOS. It's early days, but Chiefs already look like they're on the canvas here on the 3rd map. It's all ANIOS again. 3rd map straight where they're looking to establish an early lead. It was only Chalet in which Chiefs then later on got back into it. Again, more pressure from Chef Jeff, and this top floor hold has been really good, but it's been broken apart by Jay Kenner, of all people.
Yeah, really nice there from Jay Kenner. Opportunistic up on the top floor to aid in his team's effort. Neptune and Jay Kenner, though, both low into the 3v3. Now 3v2. Wizard, after staying alive earlier, able to find impact with that utility. Can ANIOS now shut down this side, anchor on the objective, and not give away any picks for free, and not give an opening to Chiefs, who do have a minute to work with? There's a lot of time here. That's not the biggest concern for this attack.
Death Bark on the way.
Yeah, still a minute. He's got the experience. Neptune, has he got the nerves of steel? Line 1 help playing the Deimos. Oh, that leg being a little bit of a nuisance though for player, and that's cost him a chance to maybe find a pick from the hatch. 40 seconds, running out of time to try and factor in a winning play. Chiefs staring down the barrel of 3-0 in favor of Team ANIOS. Back over the lobby as players top squared. These two are split. They must win their ones and do so very quickly. Proxy 5-0. Has not lost a battle so far. As Neptune through beepers. His possession known. Wizard and Shaz combine. ANIOS, there's a 3rd straight. Will we see a timeout again for Chiefs?
We've seen it work for them before. Taking tactical timeouts and then being able to respond and flip the pressure back onto their opposition. We'll see if this is a similar story. Additional bans in play, so it's the sense to counter the bot push and the clash as well. The tactical timeout has been taken by Chiefs, and we'll see if it's as impactful as last time.
Well, it's going to have to be. Right now, 4 rounds to go for ANIOS, and they can continue playing on in the upper bracket and send Chiefs down to the lower bracket. And this is, it's without putting the spotlight on individual players, but I mentioned after Chalet Guts, 15 kills for Lunchbox, great performance. But I think one thing that plagued him last year was then the ability to back that up. Since that 15 kill performance across the 2 maps played, he's only picked up 4 kills. That's a big drop off. And I'm not saying it's obviously not all on him. To be completely honest, it's really just been relays or bust right now. He's kind of like the new jigsaw for this Chiefs roster, where he's got 25 kills across the 3 maps. Lunchbox with 19, of course, 15 of those in the first map. And then you got Player 13-19, Neptune 10-17, Jkenna 8-19.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So the end of
Proxy now has got to 25-2, by the way, so he's now tied with relays.
Yeah, Proxy's been really impressive. Even without seeing numbers, it's felt like he's often had some really key moments, not succumbing to the pressure. Decision making overall has been quite good as well. So he's making a splash here in Playday 1, and maybe a sign of things to come. With that attack timeout now, well, the Chile expired. It's time to prepare for round 4 down to basement. ANIOS took that sense off the board, as aforementioned. It will weaken that default drop play and maybe prompt Chiefs to experiment. It may force them into a little bit more play over towards Garage and a rear hit. Certainly doesn't rule out entirely a server side, but it may just make the final push a little bit more challenging.
Well, we see the response from Chiefs. I feel like mentally, if you lose this round, you go 4-0 down out of the timeout. Those are very hard to come back from. Puts a lot of emphasis in this round for Chiefs, not so much for ANIOS. 6-0 start to bank for Proxy. It's been Proxy, Razor, and Chef Jeff, the key contributors for ANIOS. And unfortunately, even though they took the timeout probably at the right time, Gus, you then go into basement bank. It's actually a very difficult site to find your responsive attacking round out of a timeout. As long as ANIOS play this conventionally, which they are, they've got a good lineup. They're all playing basement, giving nothing to Chiefs, not making any mistakes, not, kind of giving a free pick early on or anything like that. This is where, honestly, mentally, this is a very difficult round for Chiefs. Like, this is not easy.
Reload.
Well, we saw it before, though. Back on Consulate, the opening 3 rounds went to ANIOS, and then they responded. The difference, though, being, and it's quite a significant one, is they were on defense on that particular occasion. And so now being on attack, there's a greater emphasis on them being the playmakers, them being the ones to find confidence and space, and you're attacking into basement without sense. Like, it's a rough position. But there's some good guys on this team, a lot of experience. We'll be looking to lock in here with a minute to go. Trying to drain this utility from the defense. Still 1 Nitro remains. 3 gas babes, a lot of flames. And ANIOS are in a position to stall out default for the remainder of this round. Quite comfortably.
Only 45 seconds remaining. Jkenna is the one holding the kit. Proxy's down, not eliminated. Now he is. Player gives Proxy his first death on bank. Battle towards main stairs. And Wizard wins it. That's a huge battle to be won. Eliminates an extra entry point for Chiefs. Keeps himself over towards loading docks as well. Razor watching this hatch vigilantly. Shaz still has bullets left in the Shamika launcher, and Chef Jeff still has the gas babe. Neptune, you're never living that drop. Good push from Jkenna down bot main. 2v2 into the final 10 seconds of the round. Chef Jeff still has a gas babe, but he's got more pressing issues that matter. SMG's up, and SMG connects from Chefy Jeffy. 4 straight for ANIOS. Timeout doesn't help Chiefs this time.
How many times have we seen that over the years? Chef Jeff with the SMG in hand having impact. Got a little dicey there at the late round with the shield still up and the support close by for Chiefs. They tried their best to grind out basement, drain that utility, but still a lot standing. Default was no longer an option. Neptune got caught on his drop, and whilst that did offer an opportunity for space elsewhere, it wasn't quite enough in the end. And so ANIOS now break that trend that we've seen previously of 3 on the trot and then disrupted after the attack timeout. It won't be the case this timeout. And the foundation now that they've been able to establish is very, very strong. Of course, Chiefs can respond, and a 2-4 is not awful, but I think when you factor in the way in which they've played so far and the response after the attack timeout, etc., etc., it's putting them in a tricky position. It's difficult to envision a win from here. It's not impossible. I think if I had to put kind of a number to it, it's probably 70-30 in favor of ANIOS at this point in time. Chiefs, of course, with the roster that they have, still command a lot of respect. They shouldn't be taken lightly even at this point.
No, it's still a die time now for Chiefs. You can't be going 5-0 down and expect to get yourselves back into the series. A kickoff is a challenging beast. This is not it's not a group stage. This is not, you know, the start of this is a brutal format. It's kickoff, but it's quick. You lose this and it's that gauntlet in the lower bracket. It would have to be 5 straight best-of-3 victories to make the major. And one of those would be against Enterprise if you're somehow lucky enough to go on that run. Jeff up to 8 kills. Say what you want about Chef Jeff and his career in this region, though, guys. He's never really been labeled one of the top fraggers or one of the best players in the region, but he just finds a way. His teams always find a way. And it seems like they're going to do it again. 3 rounds to go. Looking to knock off Chiefs. This new look Chiefs roster. It just look like they're running out of answers. I mean, they've got 2 players ATMs. The rest are out in Repel. The rest are outside the map. We've gone through half the round. Nothing's really happened. They just got nothing going on the attack.
Yeah, they'll be looking to activate Jay Kenner through lobby here for top banana here. Relays will disperse utility. There's that follow-up. No barbed wire on the stairs. So Jay Kenner with free passage currently. Box taken down though. Relays as well. How's that happened? ANIOS continue to respond to these attacks so fluidly. Again, another sharp kill. It's 3-2 in favor of ANIOS. And Proxy potentially in a position to get picked up.
Neptune has got 3, but he was low, traded, and just gives player a chance. A very small chance. 1v2, 45 seconds, and player's got a wealth of experience he can draw on in this situation. 1 of 2 flashbangs thrown out, still has a drone in pocket. There it is, thrown towards the hallway. Can try and get it into a sittable position for a teammate to watch this hallway push. Over towards Stock is Wizard. Shaz towards Long Desk, spotted on the drone. Might not be aware of Wizard's position. Has a ping in towards Long Desk. Definitely does not know where Wizard is. Now he does. Towards top main. Player, you should know, is still in Long Desk. You had that ping. Gets the kill. Wizard over towards the hallway. You're aware of this. He knows it. Doesn't have the kit. Can go and grab it. And this in itself is risky because he puts himself in a position, guys, where he has to stick the kit the whole way through. Cannot fake this, and Wizard will just run straight in. Gets off, goes for the kill. No time, it runs out. Oh, and you can see it on his face in the cam. He was so close to making the play. Oh, the pressure was on towards the end of that round.
Well, the reason we said we thought he had to stick is because the anticipation is that Wizard isn't going to immediately charge towards him, but Wizard probably wanted to close that gap, maybe sensing he was a little bit far out if the plant was committed. So I can certainly understand it from all perspectives there. Player, they're probably making the right decision, gets off plant. It's just unfortunate that the Bearing 9 doesn't go his way. The shots go astray. And with that, ANIOS now with a 5-0 lead against Chiefs, who I think were fairly rated going into kickoff as a team that was, I mean, well and truly in the top 4. I think I put them second. I'd probably say, second, third in that region. ANIOS could make quite a statement here if they're able to knock them down early.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see the way back in for Chiefs right now. The little play is not working for them. The overall bigger picture, ANIOS have been the better team. There's been some good individuality at times on this Chiefs roster. We've seen that Lunchbox on the first map, relays across the first 2 maps, not certainly here on Bank. But individual play isn't going to win you a series, a best of 3, maybe a best of 1. Certainly would have been the case on Chalet. Hence why, though, we play best of 3s now for the vast majority of the formats, and there's a good reason for it. You think back to many days ago in the OCE region, many years ago, there were a lot of best of 1s and the issues with the format. Well, those days are gone. much to the betterment of a team like Chef and ANIOS as he finds the pick. He goes to double digits. Damn, Jeffy, get him on the interview already. You already know he's going to have that lined up, ready to talk his talk. Box, though, pistol shot does shut him down before he can open his mouth. When did you get there?
Chef too preoccupied finding his other targets. Those were some sharp, clean shots. He's been really in form so far this afternoon. A Razor falls elsewhere, though. And so Chiefs now looking like their best chance, probably over the course of the half so far, to finally win a round. It is, though, a 3v3. But as I say that, it transforms back to a 4v3, a Razor back up. And despite being low on HP with the DMR in hand, he doesn't need a lot of health to still have big impact in this round.
Box are not going to give up on this round. Went for the quick pistol. Knows that there is an extra player there over towards Tellers. That's Proxy helping out Wizard. Neptune is close by to Box, and he did indeed find the kill onto Wizard. Traded by Proxy, so 1-for-1 in that little battle.
Oh, Box low.
And player gets rid of a Razor. Box was low, as he said, and then it finished off by Shaz. And it's looking like 6-0 is going to be on the cards unless player can this time close out the 1v2. Couldn't in the last round. He had 45 seconds in round 5. He's got a minute here in round 6.
He's on cam. He is on camera at the moment, so position well and truly known. 45 seconds. This one looking much more difficult than the last one. Even more so.
Oh, that was... Well, we return back from the half. Not quite the Chef interview just yet, but I imagine it'll be a couple of minutes away from getting to chat with Chefy Jeffy, one of the legends within this region. 6-0 up on Chiefs. They've just completely ran riot on Bank. It's been a very, very dominant performance, and not what I kind of expected, Guz, considering, you know, you think about Chalet 3-3 half and then a 7-4 end of score. Consulate as well, 3-3 half, and then Shaw 7-3. The second halves in both of the first two maps were dominant to either side, but 6-0 is not something I was expecting in the first half of Bank.
No, this is a bit of a shell shock. Again, to reiterate, like, to be as clear as possible, we never outruled ANIOS from being potentially stronger in this matchup. Certainly didn't outrule them being able to take it all the way here on map 3, but as you're building up, right, the fact that it was 6-0, for any team to be taking down Chiefs 6-0 is very, very impressive, and ANIOS no exception to that. So, yeah, full credit to them. Now it's a case of just getting this job done. As you alluded to before, the winner of this, which is shaping up to be ANIOS, does have a date against EP next. And so I'm trying to envision how that kind of matchup may play out. I would hope that it is a little bit more competitive than the last outing we had. Of course, if you are just joining us, EP opened up the day against Barbie Boys. And it was an incredibly dominant 2-0 in favor of EP, with Barbie Boys only being able to collect a couple of rounds over the course of that best of 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing for Chiefs. They'll be disappointed. You know, you can lose matches, you can lose series. It's all about how you respond, what you learn from it. But they would... it's one thing if you're like Barbie Boys and you get absolutely destroyed by Enterprise. It's another thing if you lose a series to Team ANIOS, and that's not taking anything away from them, but it's a Challenger Series team that for the Core 4 couldn't qualify last year. And in Chef Jeff could qualify this year against 5 players who are seasoned Pro League players. They would have been coming into today expecting a win, demanding a win from this roster, and it hasn't quite come to fruition, especially after winning Chalet the way that they did. And then to lose it in this fashion on the 3rd and final map, they've got to try and save some face here, win a couple of rounds, at least make the scoreline a little bit more respectable. But I imagine the sense of disappointment would be overwhelming for the side of Chiefs. ANIOS, they'll get to play Enterprise next week, which, again, they're like that. I don't want to say it's a dark horse matchup, but like that's the kind of matchup where for Chef Jeff and these boys, they know full well they are the underdog of all underdogs. They'll just go in, have fun, and try and do free punch, play funny, weird siege, like funny OCE kind of siege, not the kind of siege that Enterprise will be preparing for against, you know, international teams, and hope that they can, you know, cause an upset. Yellow ping information towards lobby. Relays to play off. They couldn't even kill the yellow pinged player in lobby as a Razor is so sharp. Hits the headshot. Relays 1-7 on the 3rd map after he was devastating on the first 2 maps. Has not been able to get going here on Bank. Another opening kill for Team ANIOS. That's their 6 out of 7 rounds that they've found the first pick.
Yeah, that little play perhaps summarizing Chiefs' woes here. In map number 3, we're even in decent positions. They're just finding it difficult to connect. Player, though, has been a shining light for them, and a sharp shot onto a Razor keeps this round possible.
Shaz trying to push over towards Beepers. Shaykena close by. They'll look to try and drop down. Shaz is already down here, though, by the way. And Shaz has gotten that space. Got the flash off. Got the kill onto Lunchbox. Wonderful play from Shaz. He's a top-level shield player. Knows what he's doing. Good reposition to avoid the Nitrocell. Chef Jeff caught running. Shaykena will find the kill over towards Volt. There's still a Logic Bomb available for Proxy, and he will call that now. Into the final 45 seconds, it rings out. Information to be gathered for ANIOS. Proxy goes down. It does start to get a little bit hectic, though, for ANIOS. Everyone's all around the place as player gets rid of Shaz, stops the blitz play, and it's now a very winnable round for Chiefs as they close it. They get on the board. They will not get 7-0 by ANIOS, but no real celebrations in the cams. They know they got a long way to get back into this map and the series.
Yeah, very chaotic round there. Chiefs not wanting to peel away from open area all too quickly. As a response, we saw Shaz go deep and find that pocket of space after taking down Echo inside of security, and that really opened things up. I mean, even prior to all of that, Relays unfortunately fell even despite the Echo info and the burst. But right here, I really felt like this was the turning point in favor of ANIOS to close it out in a flawless fashion, but the follow-up wasn't quite there. Chef got caught. Players were still up on that first floor and not able to play off the space that Shaz had afforded them. So Chiefs then able to converse back on towards the objective and make it work out. So to top floor we go. Shaykena to hide the Bandit. We'll see the Echo repeat here from Chiefs as well. And so Plant Denial available. Tuberal for Wall Denial in addition to the Bandit as well. So we'll see what approach ANIOS select to go for, whether it be more lobby-centric or top square. Top square is most likely with the Thermite in play, but it is triple hard breach here available, so double ranged options available. You can still expect Kanto to go over perhaps stock wall as well. Just try and create as many lines of sight and as many cut-off points as possible. Jan as well will be a key one.
Shaz is probably going to be the new name's Dave of of this calendar year, Guz, with his shield play. It's always a good strength to have when you've got a top-level shield player. Taking it slow this round, though, for Team ANIOS. They'll play the repel game, try and get a bit of control over towards square. Yokai over towards front desk, executive, and janitor. 3 set up from lunchbox. Just spots that Rotero going by. He spots one over towards ATMs. That's Chef. Good information gained by the Echo.
Yeah, with the bandit up, opening up Kanto isn't too straightforward. Chef can't just go on the repel and open it up, at least not initially off the back of that Rotero, though. Perhaps becomes a little bit possible. The drone work from the attacks being good. The Rotero is as well clean from proxy. I like this from ANIOS at the moment. It feels like they are slowly mounting pressure. They're drawing out some of this Waldenile utility at the same time from Chiefs. And in the meantime, affording themselves space top square. And so the hard breach now should be opened on both sides. Two-Brow stalling out Kanto for now. And Chef Jeff's been able to slip in as well. This is good groundwork.
Yeah, under a minute left, though, leaves ANIOS little time. But they've already shown they've got the ability to rush and flood site really effectively. A bit difficult, though, maybe with double nitro still up, plus the yokai. So there's still a decent amount of utility for Chiefs that they can kind of stop that flood. With this square control, though, they can actually flood this site pretty nicely. And start to make their way down this hallway. One towards top main, looking for the peak is Jay Kenner, Eraser, Sharp. They do lose Shaz, so there goes the Blackbeard. Player finding yet another kill. He's been very good so far on Bank, but he's really run out of teammates. Proxy was able to get rid of him. Eraser kept pushing through Janitor. He found his kills. Neptune falls. This is done. It won't be a 7-0 for Chiefs here on Bank, but 7-1 is in the books. And speaking of 7-1, well, it's no longer 1-7 for Relays. It's now 1-8. This one's done. Team ANIOS will move forward in the upper bracket. They send Chiefs to the lower bracket on day 1 of kickoff. It's a huge result, and the boys are loving it.
And who can blame them? Sure, it might only be a best of 3, and there's a long way forward. But I think when you consider where this team has come from in such a short period of time, finding any result in this bracket is impressive. But to do it against Chiefs, who are right up there with the talented team, the talented names on that roster, but to also do it in this kind of fashion to close it out final map 7-1, I think they have every right to be very, very excited. And I very much look forward to the matchup between ANIOS and EP, where as we were chatting and conversing earlier, there is an opportunity for ANIOS to just like absolute caution to the wind, play with complete confidence, nothing to lose, and to hopefully make for an exciting match.
Yeah, I think that they'll just get a free swing. You said it before. They'll get a good opportunity to learn from those Enterprise boys in the upper bracket. For Chiefs down to the lower bracket, and they've got to learn quickly. Otherwise, they could be out of kickoff pretty soon. But for ANIOS, so dominant on Bank, and again, a very well-rounded team performance is the way that I would sort of frame the series as a whole. Even back on Chalet, the map that they did lose, they started really, really well. They had a 2-1 lead, 3-3 at the half, kept things competitive, but Chiefs kind of just got the job done. And then from there onwards, it really was all Team ANIOS for a large facet of the game. 3-0 start on Consulate, and then sure, that we saw that timeout from Chiefs. They won 3 straight, and then 4 straight from there for ANIOS, and then following that was the Bank domination. So they'll be very happy with that performance. For Chiefs, though, back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it's going to be really rough for Chiefs. Wouldn't have headed into today expecting a loss. Wouldn't have expected anything to come for free. Such is the nature of forming a team like this, but they've got to now pick it up, and the run through the lower bracket, even just to make it to the grand final, is going to be increasingly difficult.
We've got Chef Jeff, of course, for